Meganeura. This was one of the largest flying insects that ever lived on Earth. It looked like a dragonfly, but its wingspan could reach up to 70 centimeters, about the size of a modern crow. It lived around 300 million years ago, during a period called the Carboniferous, which actually came before the dinosaurs. The air back then had much higher oxygen levels than today, and that allowed insects to grow far larger than anything flying around now. Meganeura was a predator. It hunted smaller insects and possibly small amphibians, catching them mid-air with strong legs built for gripping. Arthropleura. This creature was a giant millipede-like animal that crawled through ancient forests roughly 300 million years ago. It could grow up to 2.5 meters long, making it the largest land invertebrate ever known to exist. Despite its intimidating size, Arthropleura was likely an herbivore, feeding on the thick plant matter that covered the forest floor. It had no natural predators large enough to threaten it. Fossils of its trackways have been found in Scotland and North America, showing wide ribbon-like impressions pressed into ancient rock. Pulmonoscorpius. This was a giant scorpion that walked the land during the Carboniferous period. It measured around 70 centimeters in length, and while that may not sound enormous, encountering one in person would have been deeply unsettling. Its name loosely translates to lung scorpion, which came from early debates about how it breathed. Pulmonoscorpius was fully terrestrial, meaning it lived entirely on land rather than near water. It was an active predator, likely feeding on smaller invertebrates and early amphibians that shared its environment. Jaekelopterus. This was a sea scorpion and one of the largest arthropods ever discovered. It lived approximately 390 million years ago and could grow up to 2.5 meters in length. It was not an insect in the strict sense, but it belongs to the same broader family of ancient arthropods that dominated life before and alongside early dinosaurs. Jaekelopterus lived in rivers and lakes, hunting fish and other aquatic creatures. A fossilized claw found in Germany gave scientists their first real sense of just how massive this animal was. Megarachne. For a long time, this fossil was believed to be the largest spider ever found, with estimates placing it at an enormous size. That identification was later corrected. Megarachne turned out to be a sea scorpion rather than a spider. Still, it deserves mention because its story reveals how difficult it can be to reconstruct ancient life from fragmentary fossils. It lived around 300 million years ago in what is now Argentina. The corrected classification actually made it even more interesting, placing it within a group of aquatic predators that were far more widespread than once thought.